Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we will discuss the Linux troubleshooting, right? So being a system admin, I hope that you guys are come across a lot of tickets on daily basis. Sometimes where we see that some users issue, sometimes we see some disk IO issue, sometimes we system performance issue, right? So there are a hell lot of issues we need to deal on daily basis, right? So I just thought that let's bring some common issues which we see as a system admin, right? Almost on daily basis. And what are the steps? What are the basic command, or maybe there's some little bit advanced stuff which we need to consider once you jump into the that issue, or maybe the any ticket or the P1, P2 bridge call is going on. So like that, right? So first of all, whenever you see or you get the ticket, right, you don't need to panic, right? You need to stay calm. You need to set your mindset towards your troubleshooting so that will understand, okay, what is the issue, right? You need to uh, you need to try to isolate the issue, right? You need to gather as much as the information you can gather from that particular issue, whether the issue is at the application level, whether the issue is at the network level, or maybe whether the issue is at the system level, disk level, right? Because there are a lot of factors in the infra, right? So you need to find out and you need to try to isolate the issue, right? So we have many issues, right? I haven't noted down the issue, but maybe the whenever this series going on, right, we will try to discover and we will try to discuss and the remediation part as well, like how you can do, right? So first of all, we will see that what all we can do, right? So I'm starting with the basics check, right? What is the basic check you can perform, and then you need to think what we can do, right? So let me take a notepad here. So we will see basic troubleshooting, right? So first of all, you need to see that okay, what is the basics command you can check, right? Information we have talked about, right? Like first try to understand the issue, right? So that you can isolate, okay, where is the issue, right? And then you need to check what is the information you have already, right? In terms of the documentation, in terms of the SOPs, in terms of the known issues, whatever you will see, thing you need to identify. And then probably we can go with the basics command, right? Like if it is the system information, right? So let's say if I just say the basics check, right? What you can do, you can start with the, let's say, uptime, right, where you can see the system load, right, whether that particular system was restarted, whether that particular service is running or not, right? You can check the disk usage, right? That is also one of the thing we need to consider, right? And apart from that, we can consider like what all stuff we have, let's say in terms of memory, whether it's a memory issue, we can see the available memory, right? And used memory, we can identify that. These are the basics check, right? We can see the top command as well with the running process, which process is running, how much CPU, how much disk, how much memory, all these, right? We can list out the process currently running with this ps command as well, like just to gather all the process, right? Or maybe there are some little bit advanced filter is available with the pux command. What you can do is you can just sort the first 10 most consuming process, right? If you run this command, so probably it will show you the top 10 process which is consuming the more CPU. Similar case with the instead of CPU, you can, if you want to see for the memory, you can just run with this flag, right? Apart from that, let's say if some user is saying that I'm not able to open any file or something, what you can do, you can just check the uh, that particular user limit, how many number of files is allowed to open that particular user, right? How many already number of files he has opened, right? You can check how many number of network is already opened with this command ls. So these are some basics command, right, guys? You can just start with your troubleshooting if anyone is saying, okay, the issue is that your system or the Linux server, right? So before jumping into the major troubleshooting or major debugging, right, what you can do is you can just gather all this information where you can just see this, right? So what I have done is I have just created a one node called debug node, right? And this is registered to the developer.redhat.com, right? That is the developer subscription. I am getting a lot of queries from many people, right? Like if they are creating a local VM, so they are facing issues if they need to update their server or if they need to download some packages, right? So they are not finding the repository. So how you can register your system to that? So on that topic, probably I will create a video and then you guys can see, and you will also create a system download, you can define your blueprint image, you can define your activation key, right? All this stuff you can do, and then you can register your system and you will have access to all repositories, right? Okay, come back to our basic troubleshooting. So you can just see the uptime, right? So here you can see that this system is up that so much that particular hours. There are three users logged in, right? And the load average, you can see that it is the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. So our system is running. If your system is uh, like running with the maximum load, right? It is being calculated on the basis of CPU, like how many CPUs you have. Then you need to think about that, okay, maybe if your CPU is getting like lot of spikes all the time, right? Then probably you can think of the increasing the CPU core, right? If you see the disk usage, maybe sometimes that your disk is running at the very low space, right? And that is the also one of the reason that let's say if your user is saying I'm not able to log into that particular box, so you can think, okay, you can check with these particular basics check of the disk whether we have that particular space available or not, right? And apart from that, you can see that your memory usage, what is the memory usage you can see on your system, right? And if you are running at very low memory, then you can think of your memory increase as well, right? If it is required for your particular application, whatever you are running on your system, right? Uh, okay, sometimes I have seen that TULNP, this is the command which you can see that, okay, what are the ports running, particular ports are running for that, whether that particular port is I have seen most of the cases, right? What is happening is we are not using this OS based firewall, right? This you will find 99% cases you will find it is inactive or maybe disabled at particular OS, right? Because it is being managed at the network level in the real time scenario, right? I'm not saying you cannot use, you can use, right? And there are applications also which depends on the OS, particular OS firewall, right? Then you can use. But if you can think, if you are not using that particular firewall at the network level, right? Then you can check the, okay, what all services or the ports are allowed. You can check the rules of the firewall. You can check particular port is listening or not, right? That thing you can do. Apart from that, we have discussed this. Okay, if I just need to see, I'm you logged in as a, let's say, path for cloud. There is a user, right? If you see, you can see that, okay, there are a hell lot of files, right? If you just count those, so you can see that we have 398 files open for that particular user, right? You can see, right? And if you want to see the limit of that particular user, like how many uh, uh, files that particular user can open. So for that, there is a command called uh, this one, su hyphen that username hyphen c, and then you can pass that particular flag, right? So it will say that, okay, I have the unlimited range set for my user, right? You can just think of the network connection, like how many network connections are established. So here you can see that these are the network connection already listed. Some are the local host, right? And some are the SSH. Obviously, this machine is running somewhere and I am just doing the SSH to this machine, right? So you can think of this, all these parameters before you do, right? But these are some basics check, right? Which you can do with your command, right? Apart from that, there is something called uh, performance copilot, right? So this is something, uh, utility comes from the Red Hat, right? Which will give you a more option, which will give you a more space to extend your hand, right? To troubleshoot or maybe to check the different metrics, different things, right? If you see that I have this VM stat, right? So VM stat will show you these information, right? So what all these information? It is showing me that okay, these are the process, right? So these are the running process, these are the blocked process, maybe they are sleeping process, they are waiting for some child process to be finished, or maybe they are waiting for some interruption, or maybe they are waiting for some disk IO, or there could be many reasons, right? Here you can see that we have the memory, right? What are the swap you have, what are the free memory you have, what are the buffer memory, what are the cached memory, right? Because what kernel does is kernel will cast some pages to the cached memory to speed up the performance, right? To speed up your query. We have then the swap in swap out. If your system is using swap in swap out, right? Like if you have that swap created for your particular system, then you can check, okay, how many swap in swap out is happening, right? If it is lot of, then you need to think of the system kernel parameter, maybe VM swappiness or like that, right? Based on the application requirement, right? Then we have the disk IO, right? It is a block in and block out operation. You can see how many block like IOPS is happening for the reading and writing purpose. Then we have some system interruption. You can see these are the system interruption. Maybe it is a user based or maybe it is a system based, right? These are some. Then we have this CPU where you can see that okay, ideal CPU wait time period for that particular process, or maybe a stealing CPU, right? This is most of the cases if you are using a virtual machine, right? Then you can think if you have this value more, right? Then maybe there is some issue at the hypervisor level. You can check for the memory ballooning or maybe the overcommit memory or CPU like that. The cores, how many cores you have assigned. So that way, like you will get the idea, right? You will get set your basics from where you can start your troubleshooting, right? So back to that PCP, right? So PCP is nothing. PCP is a performance co-pilot, right? So for that we have something called PM stat. Okay, I think this is not installed on this machine. So let me quickly install PM stat, right? I'm gonna install the no PM stat. Okay, I forgot what is the command. Let's see. We will see. I'll tell you with that. Let's say if you need to install some packages, right? Like you need to install this PM stat utility, and you don't know that which package provides this PM stat, right? So what you can do, you can take help from the yum, right? So yum is a very good binary which will help you. So yum what provides PM stat. So what we are trying to do is I am just saying, hey yum, I need to use a PM stat, right? But I'm not sure which package provides that PM stat command, right? So you can simply run yum what provides PM stat, right? And it will list the name of the package as well as the repository, right? So this repository also will come like if you see the output, it will give you that, okay, this is the repository you need to enable, and from that particular repository, you need to install this package. So here you can see that the package name is PCP, right? And it comes from the app stream, right? Let's say you are aware that, okay, I need to install that PCP, right? But I'm not sure what repository it is giving, right? So for that, we have the, oh, again, repo query is missing. So we will just take again help of yum what provides. So will just say yum what provides rep. I think it is yum utils or something. Let it be, and then we'll see if you know the package name and if you want to install that particular package, then how you can do it, right? Okay, so here you can see it is coming from the yum utils, and that is again from the base OS, right? So let me quickly install yum utils. Okay, it is taking time. You need to bear with me. And once that is installed, right, then we have the repo query utility. And once that repo query utility is there, right, so what repo query will help us? Repo query will help us to find that, okay, if there is a particular package, like PCP, we know, okay, we need to run the pm stat command and we need to run that command, right? So what I will do is, now you can see I have the repo query package and I'm just saying, hey repo query, just tell me that PCP package comes from which repository, right? So let it query at the back end and then probably it will show you, okay, which repository you need to enable. If that repository is not enabled, then you need to enable or you need to configure. And once that repository is there, you can install the required packages, right? So let it be find. Come on, it's taking time. Meanwhile, let's see if we can just list the this is the another session for the same machine, right? Let's say pCPU, and I am saying just show me the top 10 process which is consuming more CPU. Okay, it is hyphen not equal. PCP okay, pCPU. Oh, there is a typo, guys. PCPU. Yeah, so here you can see, right? It is just showing me that, okay, these are the 10 most consuming process. And same case for the memory, if you see. So these are the 10 process which is consuming more memory, right? You can see that. And here you can see the percentage of the CPU, right? So that way you can just think of that, okay, what is that, right? So here you can see that, okay, we have this repo query and it is saying that, okay, maybe it is not showing the repository, right? But yeah, you know that if we say yum what provide pm stat, right? So here you can see that it is giving the yum repository and which is already enabled on this box, right? If you see yum repo list, so you have this AppStream package, oh sorry, AppStream repository is already enabled, right? So let me quickly install PCP and then I will show you the pmstat. So pmstat is also the same command, right? Which will give you kind of same output as the vmstat, right? But why PCP I have installed, right? Because with this PCP, you have that pmstat, and apart from that, you will have that many metrics, right? Which you can just list out and you can see, okay, maybe the network related, maybe the disk related, or maybe the users related, CPU related, right? At the network level also we have a lot of things, right? Once it is done, I will show you how you can take it forward, right? So it is getting installed, and once that is installed, we will be able to run the pmstat command and pmstat. Uh, Apart from that, we can just list out that many particular thing, right? So here you can see it is installed, right? But this package is required one of the service, right? Now I have installed, right? If you run that PCP, so it is just querying, okay, that you have that package is installed, right? But I just want to know, okay, what all services it has installed, right? What all content it has changed on my system, right? So for that, you have again that PQL and you can say PCP. So you can see that there are a lot of files has been created for this, right? And but you are not sure that, okay, what is the uh, so you can see under system D, you can see that there is a service called PMCD service, right? So this service you need to unable to work with the PCP. As of now, it is disabled, right? But let me go back and I will show you, like whenever you installed a package, right? And if you are not sure, okay, what all things it has done, there are a hell lot of things, right? You can see I have installed this package, but I am not aware that, okay, what is the service name for this package, right? Because to work with that particular package, most of the time you need to deal with the service, right? Service unit file, and that file has to be there and you need to find out, or maybe you need to enable and start that particular service. But just to find out, right, what you can do is you can list all the content installed by a particular package with this command rpm-ql. which will list all the files, folders, whatever it has created, right? And if you just want to see the systemd, because we have the systemd under, we have that all the service and the timer unit file, right? And now we come to know that, okay, there is a service called pmcd, right? And it is not working, right? So let me start this. It started, right? Don't worry. What I'm doing is I'm just saying that, okay, with this bash shell, right, you can just take a leverage of this. Instead of typing the long command, what you can just replace that particular string. So whatever the previous command you have run, right? And what I'm saying is, if in the previous command, if you find a string called status, right, just replace with the start. So here you can see systemctl start pmd, right? And if you know, check the status, you have that particular thing, right? Now, if I run pm stat, okay, it is gonna running, but what I am saying is just run in every 1 second, right? So here you can see it is printing the data in each and every second, right? Same, let me do this and vm stat 1, 2, just print the two iteration in this second and print the two iteration. That's what that means is, right? So here you can see that what I am saying is it is just giving the load average, right? Instead of load average, you will have the process, you have the swap id memory, right? Swap, what is the page in page out, block in, you have that system interruption, you have that ideal cpu user interruption, system interruption, or maybe the same thing that, so you can consider this, right? But as I mentioned, like with this, right, what you can do is there is a command called pm info hyphen t, and you can see that these are the metrics, right? These are the metrics which I'm talking about, guys. You can take a leverage of these metrics and you can find out that more thing on this, right? So that's what that the benefit of this PCP, right? Let's say I just want to grep for let's say network, okay? So here you can see that with the network there are a lot of things. Let's say I'm just want to see how many TCP connections I have. So with the TCP connection also there are a lot of metrics, but what I'm looking is the TCP connection. I forgot the name of that particular matrix, but it is TCP connection dot connection or TCP. Yeah, here we go. TCP network connection, and it is giving you the description of that particular matrix as well, number of established connection, right? But how you will gonna check that particular thing whether it is right? So for we have that pm well, and you can just print. So here you can see it will just say you that, okay, you have the two connection, right? Because why? There is a, if you see, I have the two connection, right? These are the two connections I have. And similarly, it is showing that, okay, you have the two established connection, right? So you can consider this uh, again, that pm info hyphen t, if I just list how many we have, so here you can see that more than 2500 metrics we have. And whatever the metrics you want to just to see, right, you can just check. These are related to the network, right? Let's say if you want to check for the disk, right? So again, you can just search for the disk, right? And for disk, we have 208, right? And what are those? Because you cannot remember each and everything, right? You just need to find out, okay, how, what are the requirement you have, and then because you don't need to use each and every metrics every time, right? Whenever you have your environment, you know your environment better, right? And whatever the common issues you have find, so maybe you can make a note of that particular metrics. You can just create one small document for your internal use, and you can refer this. So here you can see that per discount of byte. If you just want to see this, right? So again, we have that pm well command, and you can just pass that particular thing. So here you can see we have one disk, and there is no read write happening as of now, right? So that's how that we can just see all these things we can do, right? So this is the PCP, right? Maybe in the next video we will discuss more features of this PM well, right? And then we'll see that, okay, what all other metrics. So the common metrics I will like make a note in somewhere, and then we'll consider all these metrics, and we will see how we can take a leverage, how we can get the output, and if you have the output, how you need to read that output, because that is the important thing, right? Because getting the output is one thing, and to understand that output is one thing, right? But if you don't understand the output, okay, what that particular thing is saying, then there is no use of that output, right? So we need to understand what that particular output is saying and what we can do with this if there is some issue, right? That thing we can do, right? So today I will gonna stop this video here, and in the next video we will discuss this PCP, right, in the more detail. Apart from that PCP, we'll see that okay, what else we can use. Maybe we'll just try to create some false load, because I have some script available here, and that script we can use to create some false load on this something called uh, okay, PCP is not there. Again, that PCP command, PCP atop is saying that it is not there, right? So we just need to find out again. Yum what provides atop, or maybe there is apart from that, we have installed on the PCP, right? But PCP is just comes with some basic utility, right? If you want to use the in full-fledged, right, then we need to install some additional system tool with PCP, right? So let me just quickly install it, and we'll see that PCP atop, because PCP atop is just a replacement of the top command, right? In the top command, you can see that the running process and everything, right? Let's say if you are running the top process, right? So here you can see that this you will have that everything. If you see the help, right, then these are the other key which you can just filter out. Let's say if you want to see uh, just want to see the CPU, right, you can just toggle with these key, and you will have that particular output, right? If you want just to see that thread for a particular CPU core, or if you want to just to kill that process, you can do that with this, right? We can just see the task CPU stats, we can see the memory, right? So if I just press M, so here you can see that these are the memory top uses memory stuff, right? These are the using most memory. But once we have that PCP A top, right? So I hope it will work now. Yeah, so you can see the difference, right? So it is also giving the same kind of output here, right? But it has a more feature, right? You can see that with hey, if I just go the help here, and if I go here, so here you can see we have that more keys. You can just check with the generic info, memory detail, disk detail. And there is one more thing, right? Like whenever you have that some high usage of, let's say, CPU, right? Then that particular entry will bring up in the red color, right? So that we will see in the next video once we have that what do you say, the more detailed information on this PCP, right? So today I will just take a pause here, and I will gonna meet you in the next video, guys. And again, if you are liking my content, then please support me, subscribe my channel, share this video with your colleagues, friend, right? Because in this series, we will gonna discuss almost 20 plus troubleshooting scenarios where we are dealing with the on the daily basis, right? Because being a system admin, if you are already working as a Linux admin in many years, right? So obviously you know that you know your environment, you know that okay, what to check, where to check, with whom you need to check what, right? But just to starting with the Linux, right? Like learning Linux and working with Linux is a other thing, right? But what if something is not working? Then how you can troubleshoot, right? Where you can start your troubleshooting. So all these topics we will gonna discuss in this video one by one, right? So yeah, as I mentioned, that's for the day, and we'll meet you in the next video, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.